Hey there, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to give everyone a minute to get in here. While I'm waiting, I am going to show you where I am. Today, I am at Anson Sports Complex in South Florida in Miramar, my city. And I am at the park because I'm here with my daughter. And I'm like, this live gets to happen. Let me tell you, the feedback that I've gotten from my last live and the pivoting to doing sustainable and eco-focused events, people have reached out. They've been sending me information and just wow. Hey, beautiful D, thanks for joining. Yes, hey Dahlia, since I have pivoted to doing sustainable and eco-focused events, people have reached out. They're sending me pictures and different things. And I'm like, yes, we are all here for it. So today I'm at Anson Sports Complex and I'm by the lake. Yes, beautiful. Yes. Mwah. Love you both. So last week I shared with you my why for doing sustainable and eco-focused events. And I have, a story that's going to make it clear what sustainability is. And the basic definition is living for today with the awareness and the intention that you want your future children, grandchildren, family members, just people in the world to be able to have the resources we have today. So we're not going to ride it until the wheels fall off. We're going to live sustainably so that there's some left for the future generations. All right. So here is the story or the example of sustainability. So picture a bathtub, clawfoot, luxurious, and it's filled almost to the brim with water. So that water in the tub is our resources on the planet. All the plants and the natural food and the water and the sun and all the wind, everything that we use for energy and resources, that represents, the water in the tub represents that. Now, when you unstop the tub and the water starts to go down the drain, that represents us using up the resources. But then if you turn on the faucet, and so as the water is going down the tub, it's also being refilled, that's balancing out the resources. And we get to think in that way for everything that we do, because everything we do affects our world today and tomorrow. If we unplug the tub and more water goes out than comes in, then that's a deficit. We're pretty much raping the planet. We're using up all the coal, we're polluting all the waters, we're wasting all the food, we're cutting down all the trees. That's just a waste. If on the opposite end, we cut back on the use and we keep filling up the tub, it's going to overflow and make a mess. So that means the resources are there, not being used, and maybe will spoil. All the food will spoil. Water, if not used, we'll have too much of it. Flooding could be an issue. I mean, you see where I'm going with that. All right, so that's the explanation for sustainability. We need to keep a balance of resources going out and resources coming in. My name is Melody Dixon and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners. We curate sustainable and eco-focused events. I work with forward-thinking CEOs and executives and everyday entrepreneurs who realize that they get to have a profitable business, but they get to do so. Hey, beautiful lady of harp. We get to do so in a way that takes care of the planet, but also takes care of our pocket. And As such, I'm going to share with you the 3 E's of sustainability, as in the letter E, the 3 E's, or some people call it the 3 pillars of sustainability. Why do we need them? We need them to be able to balance out the act of sustainability. The first E is the environment, the second one is the economy, and the third one is equity or social equity. But since we're going with E's, we're just going to leave it as equity. All right, so the environment here. The planet, the grass, the trees, the water in the back, that's our environment. And if we use up the resources, then that causes an impact. An impact is the effect that our use of these resources have on the planet. So let's say we are feeding the 7.5 billion people in the world. Let's say we feed them fish. Well, we have a lot of fish, but if we keep fishing and fishing and fishing without sending some kind of management process in place, we'll run out of fish. That's a possibility. Different species of fish may become extinct. That's a possibility. When the fish becomes extinct, then what happens is whatever the ecosystem that's there is disrupted. And that means no more fish. And that means the people who fish as a business, they don't have a way to make a living. And so what happens? They can't feed their family, and it's just a snowball effect. So we have to pay attention to that. And the world is already changing. We're seeing so much damage to it. Let me share you another story. So I am Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica, and growing up, my mom would send us to the country for the holidays. I'm sure that's a common story amongst island people. We all would go to grandma during the summer. And it's a nice big property, and on the property there's a river that has a stream. So there is the big part of it, we call it Africa, and then the water runs over that rock into a smaller, almost like a pond looking area, and we call that Jamaica. And then from that, the stream goes around the side of the house, around to the back by the outdoor kitchen, and then it goes over a big waterfall that's maybe 12 feet high. So from the ground, it just drops down 12 feet in this big rock, and it used to sound so lovely. So I grew up with that, didn't think much of it. There's fruit trees everywhere. Breadfruit, ackee, star apple, apple, guava, grapefruit, June plum, sugarcane, almonds, just bounty everywhere. So we didn't think anything of it. So I took my kids to Jamaica for the first time in, I want to say 2015, and I took them to my grandmother's house. And sad to say, the river and the waterfall dried up. It broke my heart. We used to have so much fun, and I really wanted them to see, look, this is natural beauty is here for everyone. And nope, dried up. And I investigated, and it turns out there was a bad drought in Jamaica maybe a few years before I visited, and a lot of the rivers dried up. A lot of the streams and the ponds dried up. And hopefully they're coming back now with all this rain, but it dried up, and it was very, very, very sad. So the environment, or the ecology of our surroundings, we get to be mindful of the impact we make on that. The second one is the economy. Now, for those who do hair, have you ever thought about the waste of the weave, the synthetic hair or the natural hair? Once you take it out of somebody's head and it's not going to go anywhere else but in the trash, where does it go? Have you ever thought of that? for those who are event decorators and they do these elaborate balloon arches, and at the end of the event, of course, the client doesn't take home that balloon magnificence. It's too big to go in the car. What are they going to do with it at their house? They're not going to have another party in that theme or that color scheme. So we pop it and we throw it in the trash. And I used to do balloons. I don't anymore, but I used to, and it bothered me to think like, I'm keeping everything together, we're dumping it, it's going to go in a landfill. So yes, it's not around for birds to eat it and all that, but it goes in a landfill. And it sits there and it takes a long time to break down. With the fishing example, we fish and we try to make money from selling the fish, but what happens if the environment is bad and the fish didn't produce enough eggs for that particular year, and so the fishermen don't catch enough fish? What happens? They don't get a chance to take care of their family the way they used to because they had less money coming in. As the governing body, what they should do is to have structures in place to manage fishing. Like, you can only fish for this particular kind of fish this certain time of year, or for this many fish, or some kind of restrictions, so that the fish population isn't depleted and the environment isn't adversely affected. You do want to make sure that whatever sustainable practices you employ, it remains profitable, because you're in business to make money. Lady of Harp, I see you at weddings, ma'am. You get to be called to events. Miss D and her fabulous makeup, yes. So if we don't have sustainable practices, what's going to happen to the environment? What's going to happen to your business? Now, it does make sense to make sure that if you're doing sustainable, then it has to be worth your while. It's pointless to be using organic makeup and you're not able to sell it at a price that's attractive to your customers, and so you're out of business. What does that mean? So there has to be a balance between sustainability and making money. The third one is equity, or social equity. And that's all who help in the process of making sure everything is sustainable. They all get to share in what is created. Hey, Faith! They all get to share in what is created. Everyone should have access to food, especially at events when there's so much wasted food. I mean, there's some events that you can't really do takeout containers because they're very zhuzhed. You know, you're in your gown and everything. You can't really ask for a takeout plate. So all the food goes back to the kitchen, and that's not used. And what happens? The staff may take some, but there's only so much they can take home. And the food just goes in the trash. That's it. What social equity does is it allows you to make sure that the people who prepare the food are taken care of. And if there's food left over, it goes to those who are less fortunate so that they can eat as well. Homeless people, or people who are just need some support in that area. So those are the 3 E's: environment, economy, and equity. Now, how does all those 3 relate to events? Well, let's say you're looking for an event venue. You want to make sure that it's eco-focused, because yes, they're going to make money from your business, so economy is covered, but the environment isn't covered if the building isn't using renewable energy resources. They're not taking care of making sure that there's zero food waste or no paper waste. So we get to focus on that. We also get to source things locally. Local farmers to supply the food for the catering, local staff to service the event, local flowers for centerpieces if you want to go natural flowers, or if you want to go silk flowers, get it from somebody who's local to the venue. And to further cut down, you also can use mass transportation. Instead of encouraging people to rent a car and all 500 people coming to the conference will have 500 cars, instead arrange for shuttle transportation that's going to meet at a central spot and gather everyone to the venue. Another great way to cut down on your or reduce your carbon footprint is to choose a venue that is LEED certified. That means they have been through some stringent procedures as far as the energy they use, the kind of paint, the way they dispose of waste, all the things, and they are inspected and certified and then assigned this designation. Of course, it costs money to do that, but in the long run, they're saving money on the use of the energy, and also they're attracting more customers who are like-minded. So they will get maybe bigger companies. That's a good thing. So you choose, yes, Faith, absolutely. LEED certified buildings. Those are what we need to use for our events. In fact, to take it a step further, I would choose a venue not only that's LEED certified, but a hotel that has a convention space. So everybody is on site. They don't have to travel to anywhere. I've been to many conventions at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, and everything is just, you don't have to leave. There's shuttle, there are many restaurants and shows, there's even a beach. There's a huge convention center. I mean, all you have to do is just wear comfortable shoes because it's walking everywhere in the building. But the point is they have everything under one roof, and that reduces the carbon footprint. So they sleep there, they eat there, they learn and train there, and they're entertained all in the one spot. So there's no need for shuttle, there's no need for, yes, Faith, on-site. She says on-site is so key. That is how it was at the WYN conference in New York. Yep, she was just there last week. Yes, absolutely. So the 3 E's affect events, and my recommendations are to choose a LEED certified hotel that has the convention space on site, and that will significantly reduce your carbon footprint. Now, if you are a CEO of a company, if you are an executive, if you're in HR or marketing, and you're looking to have a brand activation event, a grand opening, a training, a conference, whatever it is, and you want it to be eco-focused, I'm your person. Let's jump on an event discovery call. My email is info@myproeventplanners, and I will put a link in the description of this live so you can jump on over and choose your date and time, and we'll convene on Zoom, or if you're here locally, we can chat it up. Ooh, yes, Faith says, and I went eco with no brochures thanks to me. Yes, you did, yes. Let me share that story. So I was, Faith, first of all, is my branding Sherpa, my branding ninja, and she's really supported my business in that respect. She was going to be at a conference in New York last week, and we talked about going eco, and she got her QR code and all her information was there, so she didn't need a booth with all kinds of giveaway tchotchkes and brochures and none of that stuff. She just had the one sheet of paper with her QR code that led to the world. Very efficient and very eco-focused. Yes, ma'am. So yes, that's that story. You get to have the same thing. You get to have the same support. So let's connect. My name is Melody Dixon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, where we create sustainable and eco-focused event. My email is info@myproeventplanners. So I will see you everyone next Wednesday at 7. I'll be right here so I can talk about my next Eco 3. And actually, after this, I'm going to post it. Being outside is fun, right? I'm going to post my Eco 3 so that you can see it at your leisure. All right? Take care. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week.